Ed Moss, Sacramento. Everybody, boom. But today I got the clown suit on. This is my version, right? This is a jersey, right? From Athens, soccer jersey, but it looks kind of like this one brand's shirts, right, Isaiah? And I got their fancy striped pants with the Leung Ting. Before DVDs, we had to use VCR tape, and it wore down every time you watched it, and then it broke. But we have books before that even. And so Leung Ting produced a famous series of books, and in 2007 he actually did Chisao books. But prior to that, we didn't even have the Chisao sectioned out. You had to get it from a living person. It's Buddhist, means you have to transfer it person to person. There is something that transfers. Cannot. Okay? And then from books, any person can cultivate up the thing themselves and then do it with somebody else. Chisao, right? And you can cultivate up over time, which is what he was just saying about in a different way. With grappling, how much grappling do they have? They're cultivating a persona of all of this over time with partner training. All right? So we got a book for that, right? And then here's a, let's see. And then he did put the forms out before, right? So we had the forms and the Kwun and other sources, right? But here's, you used to have to watch the form picture by picture, and the movement between the pictures was up to you. But I am going to talk about these books today. Let me zoom in on my camera. So there's two of these books, 5-Pattern Animal. What do we got? Dragon, Happy New Year. And Snake, and Leopard, and Tiger, and Crane. I'm not sure if it's Tiger or what. And then the Praying Mantis book, written by Dr. Leung Ting. And you can look at the really cool pictures on the cover, friends. All right, and so in this book, you have the forms drawn out in picture sets, and then you have the partner sets, a place in the form, a partner set for the form. And so people who mastered the EWTO basic WT from the 70s, people with 5 years of WT, 8th student grade, could take one of those books and pretend that they were teaching Mantis Kung Fu. How would you know? Right? And that was in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s or the early 2000s. That's all 20 years or more ago. If the person looks Asian enough, they could trick you. Right? And they could make up some name. And it wasn't until the internet came along that we could validate, is that even a real person in China? They said, they claimed, right? And so, and then anybody would produce a news article, and then you can refer to, look, it says in Inside Kung Fu that this guy existed. Well, he wrote the article. And no one validated or verified. It was up to the author's honesty for those things. All right. So, is that real Mantis Kung Fu, or did Leung Ting make it up? I think it's real. And we use this stuff. I never did too much, but other people would use it to fight against our Leung Ting, Wing Chun, Lot Sao system. So that's what Isaiah and I are going to do. We're going to do a little Poon Sao, and then in the middle we have Jut, Shun Sao, right? And it happens really quickly, so it ends up with almost a 2-on-1. Almost a 2-on-1. I don't want to get trapped in a 2-on-1. I get out, right? So he's trying to grab my backhand, right? So when I do this, I try to get this hand away. Thank you for letting go, Isaiah, just for the demo. Because it would be faster, right? Remember. Nice. Now, if we do chain punching on either side of the line, because that's our cross position, we don't hit each other's knuckles. It still works in fighting, and we could train with it without all the gear. And then if Isaiah pushes me up and then lops me down, right, twice, we have the classic position. And if he puts them in my pockets, right, and I don't have a headbutt distance, this is a good position for him. He could pick out the bottom one, and I'm trapped against myself, right? You can do it again. I say, I don't want to be trapped, thank you, right? So I try to hold it out so I can get out. Yep. So let me out. And he hit me on that one right like this. So here's this moment where a word woosao comes in, right? So he said on this one he got me with it was on my face in the earlier set, right? So that's a woosao moment, and just a teachable moment here. In that moment, where's my center line? It's that way. And if I'm correcting, even on the face contact, bend your elbow again, Isaiah, and then as he's coming into me, that is the muscle memory I'm training. And in that particular situation, it was on my face, push against me now, right? So, just that teachable moment was, of course we're going to get hit. Hopefully not, but it happens. And hopefully we can roll with the punches. So bob and weaving is designed to roll off of a punch, right? You're not saying you're not getting hit, but it glances off of the top of your head or off of your shoulder, right? So the roll is built in to channel the punch energy. So that's part of this thing. All right, back to this stuff, Isaiah. Yes. So if I go for this and Isaiah gets here to get another one of the lop, right, I can step backwards to avoid them each time. Now I'll do it to Isaiah. He can step backwards to make his space. Right now he comes at me. If I step backwards, I can do it. Yep. There we go. So do that again, Isaiah. I'm way out of the way because of the step. Thank you. We have a contact here. Now, I bring this up because I saw a great praying mantis demonstration, and I think the guy really does praying mantis style. He's pretty good. But it made me think of that book because the guy spoke German. So right away, I'm like, any European, there was not a lot of Asians that went to Europe to do Kung Fu, right? So any European teaching a legit or 5 different families of martial arts, I first of all go, well, that's a WT guy that used his talent to learn these other martial arts. And until I get proven otherwise, I assume that, and I assume they're covering that up. And God bless them, that's totally awesome. Cooperate. That's what I need practice. Thank you, sir. It's true.
If I left, then it made no sense. And you tell your friends, and they blow your hands. Baby, never mind, 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 never mind. But if I left, then it made no sense. And you tell your friends, and they blow your hands. Baby, never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind.